This is our call on top tools for more listings. So we're looking here at the website. You'll see that we have a lot of tools for you. If you're a real estate agent and you want more buyer leads, or if you want more seller leads, we have tools to cover you. If you have listings, great. We've got incredible tools that are powerful in capturing leads. If you don't have listings, we have a whole nother stack of tools to help you get either buyer leads or listing leads. It's our thought that most realtors don't always have listings. I know right now listing inventory is ridiculous in across the country. It's down pretty substantially in many parts of the in many parts of the country. But what I am going to go through here today is actually working right now in today's market. Let's see. We've got a couple questions. Yes, it's Bill. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And then Daniel asked, are we recording this class? And yes, we are recording this class. And that brings us to a good point. I do these trainings all the time and every week rather. And we record them. So I want to point out some of the resources for you that you should know about. And one is our YouTube channel. Okay. I record every class. Scott does classes. He records them and we put them all right here on our listings to leads channel. And I'm going to send this to everybody right now because it's just good to hold on to. If you are going to have some downtime here over the holidays, I would take some of that time and invest it in watching these recordings. I only go through 3 classes, right? I do Get Started, I do Facebook and Google ads, and I do top tools for more listings. Now that's where we are. I did this 2 weeks ago, but we're back here. Okay. Now things change. We add more tools. Things are changing in the market. Something happens on Facebook. We know about it. We're always talking about what's new. So if you want more listings in your business, I recommend you watch a few of these top tools for more listings. Because while I do sound like a robot, I'm actually not a robot. And I have conversations with people all throughout the weeks, and I'm hearing different things. And so I share a lot of that, of what's going on. And if you want more listings, it's worth your while to scan a few of these calls that says top tools for more listings. You see this one here that says Facebook and Google ads, which I did 10 days ago. And underneath it, it says custom landing pages. That's a byline of what I focused on that day. But the class is really on Facebook and Google. And I break down that class between how you get buyer leads and how you get seller leads, right? So I go a little more in detail about what goes on in Facebook and Google, about cost of leads, stuff like that. I will be covering a lot of those things today because they overlap on top tools for more listing. But you want to have this solidly, both of these classes, you want to totally understand them and be using the tools that are in here. That's our YouTube channel. It's really resourceful. Yes, this call is being recorded, and yes, it will be on this page either today or tomorrow. Okay. So that's a great resource. Another one is leadgenwebinars.com. And I don't know how you found our class, but if you're watching this on a recording, if you go to leadgenwebinars.com, you can sign up for these 3 classes. Top tools for more listings is today. Facebook and Google is on Thursday, and Get Started is on Monday, December 4th. Okay. And then all the classes are just here. This will refresh. Check that out. Save that. And then lastly is our mastermind group. And I will go through a couple things here. This is a private group on Facebook. If you are a client, ask our support team to get you in the group. And I often put things in here. Scott puts a lot of stuff in here as we're pushing new technology. We announce it here first, but also it's where our clients come and talk, right? Where they're talking about what they're doing. And I want to give you this right here. This was put out here on November 24th. Add a PDF guide to your website or newsletters. You may not know this. We're going to dive into it a little bit. We have this PDF guide system. There are 40 PDF guides for buyers and there are 40 for sellers. And now we've added the ability for you to take that and turn it into a newsletter, take that and blast it out. So if those of you that are out there creating newsletter content and you want something like a fully written branded topic on either buying or selling a home, we're building that out for you. Okay. I think we built it out. Is what it sounds like. I haven't looked at it myself, but that's what's happening. And she accepted my help. Yeah. Veronica just, uh, okay. Let's see here. Veronica's saying she's invited. What do you call that? She's asked support. Veronica, just email me. I'm Vince at Listings to Leads. I'll figure this out. So let's go back to what we were here on this page. So this here is an old story. And since we're here, I'm going to just walk you through it because this is one of the most important stories for how to get listings. It's not Facebook and it's not social media. It's actually a print letter that we create called the Nearby Homeowner Letter. And this guy here moved to Texas a few years ago and was a licensed real estate agent, but he moves from out of state and buys a home in this nice area with his wife and kids and decides, hey, I want to dominate this area. So he takes our Nearby Homeowner Letter and he blasts it out every 2 weeks into his neighborhood for people that own their homes for more than 5 years. Okay. So that's a bit of a mouthful. So let's unwind that a bit. Let's just open that up a little bit. So he takes the letter. I'll show you that letter in a few minutes. He bought a list of homeowners from remind.com and people who own their homes for more than 5 years. And once he mailed that letter, once he mails that letter out, and people respond, meaning they open the mail and they take this piece of paper and they go fill it out on their own computer and give them their address and their email and contact information. He hits them up every week with phone calls, letters left via mail, and letters left at the door. This little recipe here is really one of the smartest ways of getting listings. And I recommend that you are all trying it and testing it. I did speak to one lady once in the past. I've spoken to two people in probably the past 5 years where they said this is not working for them. One was in Western Pennsylvania and one was in Palm Springs. This gentleman said, yeah, I've been doing this and it's just not doing anything. And I can understand that in Palm Springs because it's it's like a second home area for a lot of people. And it's a ton of competition in Palm Springs. Now, I don't know about Western Pennsylvania, but if this is working right now, I can actually show you in our system right here that our clients are making this work right now. So this is another version of that letter from a lady named Pat Motley. And she wrote something here and agents are asking her questions, right? And what she did is she took that letter, the Nearby Homeowner Letter, she actually customized it. This message here and up here, she customized inside of our system. And she did something really cool that I've never seen another client do. She prints on the back and she even bought this fancy stamp that she stamped. So she prints this text here and here, and then she hand writes the envelopes. And so you can see from the way she's folding them up that this has information in it, right? And it's obvious, and she's mailing it to a list of homeowners. This is putting a lot of thought into this, but I'll tell you this, Pat has been a client of ours for 10 years. And she's been in our mastermind group for many of those years saying, oh, I mailed this letter out and I'm like getting more and more listings, from mailing that letter out. She mails it into condos and all this and that. And so that's the most advanced use of our Nearby Homeowner Letter that I've seen. Now, I want to point out, she's doing this by hand. And she puts right here, she put in 4 hours of time, right? That's a fair amount of time. And she tells you right here her costs. They're not a lot of hard costs, right? Some stamps and stuff like that. But she, in mailing it out 100 pieces to this audience, she got 4 people calling her for home values by mailing 100 pieces of this letter. And now that the home is sold, she's going to mail it out again. So you want to ask yourself, how am I having 4 homeowners call me to get their home listing, right? From sending 100 of anything. Is that happening for you? If not, I recommend that you look up these names, Pat Motley and Chris Winstead, and check out what they're up to. they are using one of our top tools, which is called the nearby homeowner letter. We'll go look at it right now. So let's see. Now I'm actually in a guy's, oh yeah, let's just finish this thought. I'm in somebody's account right now who actually has generated a lot of leads. And it's funny, he doesn't even have his own listing right now. So this agent signed up, doesn't have his own listings, and he's getting listing leads another way. We'll dive into that in just a minute. But if you had a listing, these are all the kinds of tools that we create. And a lot of agents don't even ever log into this. They get tools emailed to them. They work from their email. They don't even know what's going on. This is called the nearby homeowner letter. And we auto generate 3 different versions of this. Okay. It's just aesthetically, it looks different. Let's go. Okay. So this is one of them. Let's look here. And this is not rocket science. It's not artificial intelligence. It's common sense. Okay. Now this is a picture of the White House because that's what we have when you don't have a listing. It's just a whole place for you so you can see the tools. But it says, hey, we got a home for sale, and go here and go find out about it. Even scan that and go find out about it. But we're always putting, when your home is sold, this will affect your home value. So go here and get your free home value. Okay. Now that's what that is, right? That is the nearby homeowner letter. And that is what Chris Winstead and Pat Motley and many of our other clients are using. So that's where you get it. Okay. And just to repeat, what they're doing is they are these people have bought lists of homeowners from remind.com. I'm going to show you an easier way in a couple minutes. But they go get this list, and then they mail out every 2 weeks a letter like this to this target audience of homeowners, people who have equity. And that is the smartest thing to do, right? There are a lot of other smart things to do, but that's not running an ad online. And you want to think about that. If you're running an ad online and you're saying, hey, go get your free home value here online somewhere, that there you can get leads that way. We'll talk about that today. But what's the quality of those leads, right? Who are you actually hitting? Who clicked that? Who saw it? And what is the quality of the lead? Because quality of the lead points to, am I going to get a listing or not? And when you're mailing a letter into an audience that they all have home equity, that's a high quality lead. If they've actually opened that piece of mail and went to their computer, typed in the web address, gave you their address and email, who is doing that? It's a lot different than lobbing an ad up on Facebook and somebody is looking at it while they're looking at what their friends are eating. Totally different world. I'm actually here in his account, in this guy Albert's account today, because I get a report every Monday, Scott and I get it, of people who are generating seller leads. There are all kinds of leads, right? It's just our leads. And I was pretty interested because I noticed that this guy here, Adam, is getting a bunch of seller leads, and I couldn't figure out how, but in 7 days, he has 25 seller leads. So I'm in his account and I go looking in there and I actually went to the ad section. He is not using our ad software. I am thinking he is using our tool, but honestly, there are questions. I actually called him this morning and said, hey, what's going on? This is the landing page that he created, which is odd because it's super generic. And I don't ever recommend that. It just looks like this. This is a standard default look on the page. He just changed what is your initial valuation for you. That's all he changed, right? But somehow he got this out. So I'm going to click in the leads over here. And I feel like he has used, honestly, I don't even know what to tell you here. But you see these leads he's generated since the 20th of November. Okay. So just over the Thanksgiving Day week. And here, if we got the name and email, if we click over here and view details, and you can always do this with your leads, you're going to see that he's getting name, email, and phone number and address for his leads. I totally want to talk to this guy because I don't know what the heck he is doing. But I had another conversation with a lady this morning, this lady here, Claudia Nelson. And Claudia, I don't know if you could see that. She got 9 leads in 7 days, and she's always on this report. She's, I get this every month or every week. She is always on it. And so I asked her, I, I looked at her leads. I said, how are you getting those people? And she says, I'm using Google. She's not using our Google software. She's just doing it herself, but she's running ads to this page, right? For people who are living in Woodbridge. And so if you run an ad and, it's answering the question and it looks nice, okay, I get it. I want my home value. So she's getting leads like that. And so that's I think a really smart thing to be thinking of, which is you want to have, if you want listings, you want to have a print strategy, and you want to have a Google strategy, and you want to have a Facebook strategy. Okay. There are other things, but those are the 3 top things you need to think of. Let me know if you have any questions about that right now. And while I'm going to take a sip of coffee and see if there's any questions, but I want to point out in the in the GoToMeeting chat panel where you can type in your questions is a little section that says handouts. And I would recommend that right now you go and download that file. And I'm going to open it up. What is this? So, go up here. It's called Top Tools. Okay. And this is actually the top tools for more listings. So when we look at this, you'll notice that the first thing on it is mail out a nearby homeowner letter, which I just showed you with Pat Motley and Chris Winstead. That's why it's number 1 on this list, because it gets high quality listing. Next, it says run Facebook ads, create a property valuation page for each farm area. And that's what this guy did. Although this isn't even a farm area, so it's super generic. It is counterintuitive to what I think works, which I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm just telling you from experience what I think works. And this guy, somehow I got to have a chat with him. He's getting a bunch of people to give him his name, email, phone number, and address on a generic page like this. It's a mystery to me. But let's log out of here and let's get into my system or our demo account so we can see a little bit more about what we got here. I still need that cup of coffee, so give me 1 second here. Great. Okay. So here we say number 2, run Facebook ads for under contract and sold listings and create a property valuation page. Since we were looking at Albert's here, let me log out of this and let me just show you, we're in my account now, right? And to create a landing page, you should all be doing this for every farm market that you want. Most of you are developing your business in more than one area, right? More than one city. Sometimes you're in a big area like Los Angeles, and you might be building a business in Santa Monica, and one over in Compton, and one over in Pasadena. So you're like different parts of the area. Right? So you should create a landing page for each one of those parts. And here you do that very easily. You go and create a landing page, and you can create Property Valuation Plus, and all you got to do is type in the name of your favorite town and click create a landing page. And that will create a generic page that looks like this, right? This is what that other guy had created. Let's see if I actually added a little counter here, but this is I slightly customized that page. That guy has 25 leads from, right? So this is how it all starts. And I definitely recommend that you take a minute and click edit and put a picture of your neighborhood in the background, because that usually gets people to really respond a lot more. And because my view is generic doesn't work. I have no idea how this guy got those leads like that. And I definitely want to talk to him. But normally generic doesn't work because you're asking people for their name, email, phone number, and address. If you do that online, that's a tall ask, right? That's a big ask, and people don't want to give that away. So I don't know how he did it. I'm definitely interested to find out. But that's how you create it. And then once you create it, you put a custom page, a custom photo in the background, and then you get it out in the market, right? Now, if you click on edit and tools, I'm going to click on that again. There's an advanced options after you customize it. And you can customize things over here on the left, upload image here. You can even put a video in here if you want to replace this video in the back. You can change your lead form text if you want. You like here, it says no commissions underneath Waikiki. You could say working with 30 buyers or whatever right now, right? Something that might get people to think it's just going to help people understand why they need to give you that information. Because imagine that you ran an ad or you shared this landing page and you put it on somewhere and people click on it and they look and they're like, oh, what is this? You're working with 30 buyers. Oh, okay. Yeah. I want to know what's my homework, right? Over here on the top, it says advanced options. Here are some print marketing solutions. So there's letters that have that link for that page already integrated. There are postcards with that page already integrated. You can even scan and get there now that everybody is excited about QR codes. And there's even a door hanger with the same information that you can get out there. So these are ways to get that out there. We've even got the ability to auto post this now. So after you create the landing page, just tell us to auto post it to your socials. And there you go. Right. So you don't even have to do the work to get it to that. But I will tell you that if you auto post to your social media accounts, that might sound cool, but I don't know how many people are following you. And I don't mean you as a personal person on Facebook, but your business page. A lot of realtors, they might have 200 or 300 people following them. And auto posting anything, it's not going to change your world, right? Auto posting a landing page like this, if you got 200 or 300 people, means, I don't know, maybe 5 people a month see it. Not a lot of people. But if you come over to our ad section and you say, I want to create an ad on Facebook with a landing page and I want to do it on Arinda. Okay. And I'm going to create an ad and let's just wait. It'll write the ad. Now, the first step of ad creation is you got to connect your business page. So ours is sponsored by the best listing, but yours is going to be sponsored by your business page. So you're building your brand because every time you run an ad on a home value, it's going to show your business page and a few thousand people will see it. So you're building your brand at the same time that you're running an ad. Now, I want to go through this. We're going to concentrate on Facebook here. How do you get listing leads from Facebook? And one way is to create a home value ad just like this. And I'm pretty sure many of you have seen this kind of ad. And some of you may know that this is a little bit played out, meaning it's not very effective. A lot of agents still do it because they know it. It seems, oh, I got to do that. But there's a lot of hurdles to make this kind of ad work. And I'm going to give you the simplest one. And we're not going to go into too much detail, but I'm targeting Orinda, California. You probably don't know where Orinda is, but Orinda it's behind Berkeley. It's like in this mountain area outside of San Francisco, right? About 30 minutes away. Super nice, lots of trees. There's a subway station that gets you here right into the financial district in San Francisco. It's a nice place to live and super quiet, super cool, right? Now, if I show you this map that we're looking at right here, you might notice that Orinda is right here in the middle. But this radius that we're looking at is about 15 miles. Okay. And when you run an ad on Facebook, its default settings is minimum 15 miles. And that's why these ads often don't work because you run an ad and you think, okay, I'm going to get some leads, but your ad's talking about Orinda and you're shooting it all over to 50 other towns, right? So how effective is your ad going to be if it's showing up to people over here and here and here and here and here, but it's really only talking about this neighborhood or this little town right here? That's usually why it doesn't work very well for real estate agents. And it's a bummer because it physically you click the buttons and make it happen. But when you put some thought behind it, it actually doesn't work. And let me show you the workaround. Okay. This is a little bit in the weeds, and this is why you need to go look at my Facebook and Google classes because I go into this in depth. You can buy an audience. You can buy a list of homeowners from a number of companies, Remind.com, RedX, and you put that list in an Excel spreadsheet that looks like this. It says use this format down here. See when I hover over it, that is what your spreadsheet needs to look like. Those column headers, just like that, and not extra columns. I know when you buy this list, it's going to have 20 columns of data. You need to get it all out of there and it needs to be uploaded. And you could create an audience name. You could say Orinda homeowner, right? And it has to be 1,000 leads deep, right? I've spoken to people who have a little community. There's 250 homes. That's not going to work unless you're comfortable targeting outside as well. So you can create a custom audience, and this audience is going to your Facebook account. It's not living in listings to leads. And so even if you stop working with us and you say, I want to run an ad for homeowners in Orinda, you'd actually have a custom audience called Orinda homeowners sitting in your Facebook account for as long as you have Facebook. So this is definitely something, if you're going to be in the real estate industry for a while and you want to be building listings, you absolutely want to get a list like this and start building out those farm markets. Because farm markets, or geofarming, if you think of it that way, you do it in print. You certainly would love to have a list of homeowners and run ads in front of them. That's what you can do right here. You might also be able to upload that same listing to your CRM or your MailChimp and do some email blasting. So you're hitting the same group of people online in their email and in print. This is a really smart way to build that farm area. This is a really easy way to create it. And once you've done that, now when you create an ad and you've got something, let's go over here to the PDF guides. We didn't talk about that earlier. You might be targeting those people in Orinda. And now that if I run an ad, let me just see here while I pull this thing up. When you're running an ad for the people in Orinda, and let's just say I'm going to do 5 dangers of overpricing. This is a relevant topic, right? Leave it on lead ads. It means name, email, and phone number in the ads. And when I do this, if I type in Orinda up here, you know that it's going to be Orinda and all over the place, right? But if I say, no, I'm not going to put a city in there. I'm going to click retarget current leads and type in the name of my custom audience. Now I don't have a custom audience built already. So I'm just going to show you one of our seller audience, right? So you definitely want to do that. You don't need to do this when you're trying to get buyers because you just don't need to do this. But when you're trying to get listings, it's going to help you out if you have some targeted lists in there. And then that can be really helpful. So far, we run ads we're looking at how to run an ad for a PDF guide, and we can use the same technology to run the ad for a home valuation landing page. But you can also run ads on properties that are sold, right? And a lot of agents don't do that. It blows my mind, but agents are whatever they're doing. But if you want more listings, running an ad on a sold property is a very smart thing to do, right? And here it says, hey, this is in Folsom. This property is in Folsom and it's targeting a 15-mile radius. I would have a Folsom custom audience and I would say, no, I'm not going to target it here. I'm going to target these people and with whatever relevant custom audience you have, right? It's down here in this box. And then when you're running this, it goes out there, right? Now I want to point out a couple things. It says lifetime budget, $50 for 7 days. So what ads on Facebook and Google are, they're called pay-per-click or PPC ads, pay-per-click. So every time somebody clicks, like they see this ad over here on Facebook and they click on it and it gets their name, email, and phone number, they charge you for that. So for a home sold ad, just like what we're looking at right here, you might be charged around $7 a lead. If you divide 7 into 50, which is the lifetime budget, it's about 7 leads with name, email, and phone number. Okay. So you want to make sure you're getting somewhere around that. It could be more dollars, it could be less. And I will tell you this, we're finally to that point in the year where most of your competitors are taking a nap until spring. And the cost of leads on Facebook can dramatically drop by 50%, 75%, or even 90%. So when I say $7, it's not during the winter holidays. $7 is the average price throughout the year for sold leads. Okay. So definitely, if you've sold something in the past couple months, that's going to work. Can your brand guides and logos color? Yeah. Sandra, when you go to your profile, there's a section under your profile that says appearance. You put your logo, you put your colors, and that's going to flow through all of this. Okay. Every one of those PDF guides you're branded on, and it's got all your, it's all got all your branding. Once a person hits this, they've got to give you their name and email if they want to download the report, or in this case, they want their home value, something, right? That's how it's all work. I'm going to tell you something that a lot of realtors don't know, because if I just throw numbers out there, I could say that 50% of realtors have run an ad on Facebook for just a property, right? Open house. That would be a high number, but let's just say that's about where it's at. Of that group, I would say only 20% of the market has actually had a reasonably successful ad, meaning you captured 2 or 3 leads, right? Because it's not, if you're not using our software, it's actually pretty challenging to do. And there are so many realtors to tell you they're not tech savvy. So it just doesn't work really great. If they're using our software, we make it incredibly simple. But when you then start saying, okay, who's running ads on sold properties? Man, I don't even think 10% of real estate agents are doing that. But when I ask you this question, how many agents are running ads on properties that are pending or under contract? That's not even 1% of the market. And that is very interesting and very important, because when I told you that a seller lead from a sold ad costs $7 each, and you can divide 70 into this 50 here, I didn't mention, but when you run a home valuation ad, like with a page like this on Facebook, Facebook charges you $15 a lead. So $15 a lead into $50 means you're only going to get 3 leads. When you run an ad on a PDF guide, we saw that there were 40 different PDF guides. Those leads often cost $10 each. So you'd get 5 leads. And that's a lot of the reason of the price per lead is set by Facebook. Now, I don't know exactly how, but one thing I do know is that if you're doing something where there's a lot of competition in your market, the cost of your lead's going to be higher. And one thing about homes that are pending or under contract is nobody's running ads in that. And so Facebook doesn't know how to charge. So our clients are getting leads at $2.50, right? Or even $2.38 per lead. That means if you're running a $50 ad, you're going to get 20 leads, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? If you're running an ad on this here, you're going to get 3 leads. If you run an ad on a property that is sold, you're going to get 7 leads, same $50, same $50 ad, 7 days. It's just how much does that lead cost? I recommend that you do all of these kinds of things because they have a different information, right? They have a different concept of what you're talking about. And that's related to your brand. Does it really, is running an ad like this great on Facebook? I would not do this without that custom audience that I was talking about, but I would still do it, right? Because you want to let people know that you can give them a home value. That's your role. That's your profession. So I totally do it, but know that your cost is going to move up and down. You have a small team. Do my agents need their own account? Yeah, sure, Carol. If they want to grow their business, how would the leads flow to Follow Up Boss? We have an integration on the profile here. We cover that in the Get Started class on our YouTube channel. On profile is a section that says CRM integration, and each agent puts their Follow Up Boss deal in there, and the leads go directly there. Our clients that use Follow Up Boss really like the interaction of our lead delivery and their drip campaign. But yeah, we have team accounts, Carol. They're discounted. Email me at vince@listingstoleads.com. If you have questions, I'll send you my email right now. So there it is for you. Okay. So this is pending. Like I said, you can run sold ads. It looks a lot like this. I would definitely want to be using a custom audience. I would not be spraying ads all over your areas. And then the landing page. So that's Facebook. Okay. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about Facebook because Facebook is an awesome website. You may have good news or bad news. You may not even like social media, right? But let me tell you, 70% of American adults spend 40 minutes every day on Facebook. As you can see here, I have friends who are playing golf. She's a great golfer, but we can see what's on sale. Here's some companies saying, hey, I got a Cyber Monday. Your ad that we're creating over here shows up right on Facebook. It's just like that, right? But really, we don't come here looking for ads. We come here to look at all the cool stuff we're following or looking what our family and friends did for Thanksgiving. Oh, here's me sailing. That here, it's talking about a movie, right? And here it's, I don't know what they're talking about, right? Bill Murray, all the fun stuff. This takes people's attention for 40 minutes a day, every day. American adults, not kids. The kids are doing other fun stuff, right? But your kids are not buying homes today, right? They're not selling homes either. So what's cool is while we're looking at the stuff here, right? We see an ad and maybe it's relevant and maybe I respond to it, right? Oh, you got an open house? Hey, I'm actually interested in that. I'll click on it. Boom, you got my name, email, and phone number. That's why Facebook is awesome. But when we have a difficult question and we need an answer, we don't go ask that question on Facebook. If we want to know where's the best martini in Manhattan or where's a great hotel in Miami or how do I sell my home, 86% of all people on the internet and in the United States come to this website, google.com. Okay. And it's the number one website in the country. So the leads cost the most. They charge a lot of money for this kind of ad. Notice that there are people here who are running ads. They're running ads for people that live in my area, typing in those words. How do I sell my home? And I don't want to click on it because I'd be chewing up their money, but it's basically going to run to a landing page that is going to offer some sort of assistance, right? So how can we do that with listings to leads? We go over here and we click on ads and there are two buttons. We'll see it in a second here. One is for Facebook and one is for Google. Now I'll tell you this, if I ask you all, or if I broad brush it and tell you how many people have run an ad on Facebook, how many real estate agents, I'd say it's 1 out of 50. And it's understandable to me because I'm sorry, how many have run an ad on Google? It would be 1 out of 50. If you ever try to run an ad on Google, it is a hideous experience. It's not easy. You're going to have to go learn how to do that because it's super complicated. Let's click on it here and see how complicated it is here. I click on landing page. What landing page do I want? Let's keep going in Orinda. We're trying to develop that area, right? Click on create ad. We're now already connected to our Google account. All I have to do is type in Orinda. Now, you do have to create an Orinda landing page. I already created that because we just created a ad on Facebook with it. But now I've got a $50 daily budget. Okay. So what does that mean? That means you can spend $50 a day on Google and it runs for 7 days. So you have the exposure of potentially spending $350, right? So why would we do that? And you might think, whoa, that's a lot of money. And it certainly is more money than a $2.50 lead from Facebook. But let me just tell you, there are a lot of there are a lot of teams and there are a lot of realtors out there in real estate who are very serious about their business and they are doing everything to create ads, to create business. And having listings in your business, if you have a team or even as a single agent, obviously, it's really important. You can always get buyers when you have listings. So I set up the teams around the country and around the world. And I was recently setting up a team in Dallas, Fort Worth area. And they were so excited about this software because they said, wow, this is so easy. And our leads, they knew their leads cost $30 each. So you see this budget here that says 50. This means that they would get one lead a day and there would be 20 bucks left over for the next day. Okay. But they figured it out. Like I'm sure all of you think of this in the same way. They're like, listen, this is how much money we make on a listing in our area of Dallas. It's a lot of money. Okay. And they're saying, so we're really comfortable spending $30 a lead if from Google because they're high quality leads. And so we definitely want them. So they up the budget, right? I was talking with, sorry, in Vancouver, Canada, right? Vancouver, Canada, it blew me away. It really did blow me away. They're saying, listen, they're like, we've got team. So Vancouver has beautiful properties, right? Waterfront. And they're saying our leads on Google cost $150 to $200 easily, sometimes $300 each. And I was like, what are you? Well, how is that? And they said, because all the big teams are just buying up the keywords. You can't even play if you're a single agent. You can't even, you can't even compete on Google because of the budget that's required to do that. And so these are the things. Do you have competitors in your market? And let me just say, our software that we just to do this simple ad, it costs $30 a month just to make it easy for you. Because if you don't have to do ours, I'm going to show you something in just a second. You will have to have all the keywords. You need multiple keywords so that or they know when Google knows what are you trying to buy here, right? And notice I have one here. How do you sell by owner, right? How to sell by. These are all the keywords that we're automatically putting in. If you're going to do it without our software, you better have some keywords ready because you need that. You also have to write multiple headlines. Okay. We've written, I think 12 and they will these are the headlines over here. They'll rotate through those until they realize what's working best for you. And you have to write 3 descriptions. Okay. And you just have to do that to make that ad work. And in our world, you don't have to do that. You just have to choose what landing page you want. You know, that is the Orinda home value page and type in the word Orinda and click. You don't have to click advanced options. You just click publish. And that's how you compete on the #1 website on the internet. Okay. Just for conversation's sake, the #2 website in the country is YouTube. All right. So we've got you covered on #1, which is Google, #3, which is Facebook, and #2, because we're taking your listings, creating virtual tours and putting them up there for free. Right. Now, if you're connected to Twitter or LinkedIn or Instagram, we're going to auto post there too. So we're really helping you in the social media game and certainly lead capture. In this case, we're just focused on getting listings. So we want to make sure and do that. So what we've been doing is running ads on Facebook and Google to landing pages, but I want to take us back to the landing page section one more time to make sure that you are doing everything you can to dominate that farm market, right? And you might think, oh, I'm dominating it now because I'm running ads on Facebook and Google, right? And what is all this junk in here? These guys. Right. Scott's in here always like doing whatever comes to mind, and it's just impossible to find answer here. Mhm. I can't find the landing page that I was talking about, but here it is now. Right. It's over here on the right. If you click on edit and tools, you will always notice that we give you a advanced options button up here on the left. And you can now create print letters that you can customize. And you can say, hey, here's what's going on. Here's how many homes have sold in the area this year. And here's the high and low. And then when you drive this to them, they can just scan it and get their home value. We've got postcards for the same purpose, right? Door hangers. If you're going to dominate that area, maybe you want to go do some door hanger work, right? Maybe you want to have a letter or something that you can drop off that they can help. You could print up a few PDF guides for various topics and get those out. And that's really what you want to think of. And then I think one more thing here is an e-flyer. If you have a database of people in Orinda and you want to take this letter and say, hey, here's my home sold report for last month. Click here to get your free home value. We've got that all built for you. This is how you dominate a farm market. You're hitting him in email. You're hitting him on Facebook, on Google, and you're hitting him in print. What other ways can you dominate that farm market? I guess you could do a sandwich board. If you got some free time on the weekends, you can go do that. But this is a really great way in one platform to have all kinds of your branding reinforced and all the lead capture reinforced in print, online, in digital, on the number one website in the country. Through your CRM, blast it out in your CRM. I can't remember there. Somebody has follow-up us. So many of our clients are taking our e-flyers like I just showed you and blasting it out on their database. One other thing I forgot to mention, speaking of databases, this is not exactly about listing leads, but since we were talking about custom audiences, we want to make sure that if you've been in the industry for a while and you want to target your old leads, you can use this custom audience button right here to upload your old leads. A lot of you paid hundreds and thousands of dollars from leads from awesome companies like Zillow and this and that, and they're not doing nothing. You can upload it. You can just clean up your spreadsheet over here, make it look like this, call it whatever you want, upload, import. It's going to live in your Facebook ad manager. So whenever you run an ad, people are going to be like, oh, cool. Yeah, I know this person. I responded to them. Now it's working. So one other thing I forgot to mention, because that's not like high on my list of things but we have this social content page, which is super cool. I cover it on the Get Started class. And this will automatically post social media content to your social media accounts. But I want to point out, because you connect your socials here, you tell us how often you want us to post for you, and then you choose your topics. And there's a lot of cool topics. I like this section. It's conversational, it's colorful, it looks good on your socials, and you don't have to do it after you set it up. It's just done. Okay. Now, it takes a little bit to open up, as you can see here, because there's a lot of data, a lot of articles, pictures all underneath it. But what I want to make sure all of you are doing is turning on the PDF guides for sellers and the PDF guides for buyers. I showed you how you can run an ad on Google, but you can also and on Facebook, you can also just say, hey, you know what? Put them on my social media accounts and put a landing page behind it. We're going to do it automatically. So that if somebody sees any of these 80 guides, they can download them right then and there. I don't even have to talk to them, but they've got to give me their contact information. You should definitely be using that. Okay. You should definitely go to the social content page and turn that stuff on so we can do it for you automatically. This is where you see the PDF guides. And somebody asked earlier, is this going to be branded to me? Yeah, your colors are going to be here. Your logo is going to be on every page. Your picture is going to be on every page, and your contact info, right? So if you see something that you want to get out there, click a green button that says market. From right here, You can run an ad on Facebook. You can run, oh, we just added this. You can run an ad on Google. We have not had this for months. I was like, guys, we got to have Google. Just right here now. Social media post. If you like to do things manually by hand, remember, and log in every once in a while. I did show you over there on the social content tab, we can do it automatically. But if you want to do it by hand, social media post right here. E-flyer for your database. Copy that flyer, blast it out on Follow Up Boss, KB Core, whatever. It's there to capture leads for you. You can also have print flyers and door hangers, right? What are you doing? Is this going to be part of your farm marketing area? All of these solutions all capture leads. Okay. There are 80 PDF guides, 40 for home sellers. There's a lot of content here if you haven't figured it out for you to get listing leads. Is that are you guys grasping that one? Are there any questions? Can we connect our CRM? Well, can we connect our CRM to feed in a custom audience automatically? Dan, that's a great question. And maybe I'm not understanding it, but that question sounds like that's for Follow Up Boss, right? Can we connect our CRM to feed in custom audience automatically? I'm not exactly sure what that question is, but let me answer a question which it sounds like, because I didn't quite dive into it. When we go over here to the ad section and we create a custom audience, when you come here the first time, if you're a client and you're new to us, let's wait till we get there and we'll talk about it. When that blue button of the create custom audience, it's not visible to you. It's just not. The first thing you'll see is a button that says connect to Facebook. And when you connect to Facebook, it'll be in the center. These two green buttons will appear and you'll be able to do all these ads on Facebook with just the simple thing. If you want to create an ad on Google, it's going to say sign up for a 30-day free trial. You can use it for free, and then it'll be $30 a month. Okay. So that's what's going to be here. But this create audience button will not be there. And this here, this green box, this might start appearing, but there will be a yellow box telling you accept the terms to create a custom audience. So you click in there and you accept, and then you click retarget, and then this button will appear. And when that button appears, that's telling listings to leads to take every one of your leads that you capture with our system, wherever you capture it from a postcard, you can capture it from a landing page, you can capture it from a Google ad or from a Facebook ad or a virtual tour on YouTube, wherever you capture the leads, it's going to sit on this page. Dan, it's probably going to go automatically into your Follow Up Boss, right? Because you're going to connect it on your profile. But we're also automatically going to create audiences in your Facebook account. So you don't have to worry about that. If you're capturing leads with our system and you've turned on custom audiences, we are going to create files in audiences in your Facebook ad manager. And those leads will live there forever. If you quit working with us, they're still going to be there. The lists are not usable until they're 1,000 leads deep. That's worth noting. Now, Dan, you might have other ways of capturing leads from other companies, and they're going in your CRM Follow Up Boss. Your question about will that happen automatically and create an audience automatically from Follow Up Boss? I don't know the answer to that. That is probably a great question for Follow Up Boss. But what I do know, Dan, and for all of you with any CRMs, is almost all CRMs are going to give you the ability to export your leads, export it in a really hideous Excel spreadsheet or CSV file. And then you go over here and you say, create audience, and you clean it up so your Excel file looks pretty like that. And then you name it whatever you want to name it and you upload it, and that will live in your Facebook account and it'll just sit there. And if you've got 3,000 leads or 10,000 leads, I highly recommend you do that. Any other questions, everybody? We covered a lot of topics today. Let's go look at the top tools to make sure we got everything. We talked about the nearby homeowner letter. We talked about running ads on Facebook. We talked about how to create a landing page. We talked about the home sold report, which is the advanced options. It's the letter behind each home value page. We talked about postcards. We talked about blasting out your CRM, right? And also we talked a lot about custom audience. I didn't talk about get the sellers tools. Let's talk about that real quick before we go. This is one of the most ignored tools that we create and we send to you automatically. And our clients, they're just not comfortable using it. But let me tell you, what we're talking about here today a lot and very often is capturing leads from people who you don't know, right? People who are, maybe you ran an ad and it's showing up on Facebook or it's on Google. These people just don't know who you are, right? So you've got a tool that we always send to you at every status change called the seller social media tool, right? And it says, hey, we're having an open house. The My Home Sold thing. So your name, your office is marketing this for us. Click here to find out more about it. So when you send that to your homeowner and you say, hey, would you put that on your Facebook wall for me? We're doing everything, got an MLS, we're doing all kinds of signs, we're doing everything, but we want to get more offers. So if they put it on their wall, it's not a paid ad. It means it lives there forever. And when people click on it, you can probably guess we're out there capturing leads, right? And so those are free leads, but they're not leads from the random sphere of the internet. They're leads from your clients, friends, and family and colleagues on Facebook. Those are the people they're friends with. This is what it looks like when it's sold. It says our home is sold and we want to recommend you for doing a great job. Here's your phone number and email in front of all my friends and family and colleagues on Facebook to see. If they click on this, we're going to drop on a single property website. They can look at that. Who would click on a sold property? Probably somebody that is thinking of selling, right? And they could be like, oh, okay, interesting. Okay. And they can download reports if they want, but we're going to offer them a free home value. And so you're getting a home value lead for free from the relatives and colleagues and friends of your current clients. I highly recommend that you do not ignore that email when we're sending it to you. And every status that you have on your home, it just listed open house, pending, or sold, we refresh that letter and make it relevant for that status. So I definitely would use that. Let's see, we have more questions. It would be great to see how Canadian clients, Toronto, are using L2L at a high level. Dan, do you know the STAR group up there? Are you part of the STAR group? You're welcome, Veronica. They have been long-term clients in Toronto for a while. And Canadians use it the same way that Americans use it. It's just that there are a few things that don't work. And one is an instant home valuation. So everything that we've talked about here works, except I can't go to a landing page and type in my address and get my automated home value. You can customize the landing page to say, we will send you the content. We'll send you that information. And that's kind of all you can do. I think there's privacy things going on in Canada, but everything you see here, most of it it's all the same. Like I mentioned earlier, Google Ads. You have Google in Canada. I was just talking to somebody in Vancouver. That's what they're doing. So we don't really target like city level around the country or around the world. These things work on the internet. They work in farm markets. You've got different postcodes in Canada, right? But most things work very similarly. Everybody, thanks for your questions. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy the holidays. One more reminder. When we talk about Facebook and Google ads, your competition, meaning other realtors like you, they're taking a nap until spring. And your cost of leads from Facebook and Google will drop. They've already begun to drop from Thanksgiving, which is not even a week. So it's a good time to build that database. If you're learning, if you haven't done this in the past, this is a good time to start to learn, because it's going to be a low cost way to learn, right? You're not going to be paying our leads, and make sure that you get it right. If you're trying to get listing leads, I highly recommend that you try our Google software. It will be free for 30 days and you figure out how to get those leads, those listing leads that you want, especially right now, because the cost of leads will be lower because your competition is taking a break. All right, everybody, take care. Let our support team know if you need help. If you need a team account or an office account, reach out to me, Vince at Listings to Leads, and have a great holiday season. Bye, everybody.